Michelle DeShane here, and you are at The Joy of Cooking with Michelle. Welcome everybody this evening. I am cooking up something very interesting, and it's going to be unbelievable. We are going to cook pasta primavera, and believe it or not, we are using a secret ingredient called silken tofu. This is going to be the creamiest pasta primavera you've ever tasted. It's so healthy, so creamy, unbelievable. I was lucky enough to have a discussion with a cook from Providence Care, and we were talking about how to use tofu in different ways. And this cook told me about, I knew about silken tofu already, but told me what he does is he makes pasta primavera with silken tofu. And he walked me through the recipe. It's so easy. I thought, I have to do this on my cooking show. So here we go. We're going to do this together. So this recipe is going to make 2 servings, and I played with this a bit on the weekend, and what I used is half a package. So what you need to do is, when you're looking for the tofu, look for the silken, because it's soft. Normally I cook with extra firm tofu, but the silken tofu, that's what we need. And we're not going to really cook it. We're going to create the sauce, we're going to warm it. So what I've done before we got started earlier today, when I was cooking some roasted vegetables, I roasted 4 or 5 garlic cloves. So I have those here ready. So roasted garlic cloves, I have 4. And like I said, I'm only using half the package, so it's going to be brilliant. It's going to be perfect. And I also have some Parmesan cheese, because you need some parm in your pasta. The other thing I did was I popped over to Secrets this afternoon, because often I'm talking about this nutritional yeast. So this can be 100% a vegan or vegetarian, but vegan especially, recipe. If you use nutritional yeast, it's deactivated yeast, so it's not like you're eating yeast. And you can see it's very crumbly. It's very crumbly, very similar to Parmesan, and in flavor and in texture. So what I thought was, to give the option, you could use the Parmesan cheese or the equivalent of the nutritional yeast. What I've done is I've measured out a good 2 tablespoons of the Parmesan. So what we need is some linguine or fettuccine noodles, cooked, half a package of the silken tofu, about 2 tablespoons of Parmesan, and 4 roasted garlic cloves. When I did this on the weekend and I trialed it, I didn't have roasted garlic cloves, but what I did was I softly sauteed them in a little bit of olive oil. You just have to make sure that it doesn't get browned. So the best thing to do is roast some extra garlic cloves. You can actually roast a whole bud, the whole garlic together, the bud, and just take a few cloves out of it. But why not roast some whole pan of vegetables while you're at it? That's what I did. And it would be lovely, because you could serve it at the side with your pasta primavera. So without further ado, it's going to be a little bit noisy for a minute while we get this all together, but you're going to see how fast and easy this is going to get put together. It's one of those recipes you could do really quick and easy when you get home from work, and boom, within probably 15 minutes, you could have this whole recipe completed and on the table. And if you had leftover roasted garlic, that would be fantastic. You could use frozen vegetables as an accompaniment, and you could cook those vegetables up to have as a side, or salad also goes very nicely. And the other thing that would be really great is some crusty bread, so a baguette maybe. So there we go. I'm going to show this to you. What we're going to do is we're going to start with half of the package of the silken tofu, and I'm going to use my trusty mini chopper. It's going to fit perfectly in here. I've already tried it. I know that this is going to be wonderful. Whoops, there's a little piece down there. So what I'm going to do is, if you have, say, 4 or 6 people, or you want to make more servings, of course you'll have to use a bigger, you could probably use a magic bullet, or you can use a bigger blender. Or food processor if you have one. There. I'm not going to go crazy. There we go. So half of the block of silken tofu. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the roasted garlic in right away. I'm going to blend the whole thing together. It's going to sound a bit loud for a minute, so bear with me. Maybe 30 seconds. You're going to see this is so smooth, just as smooth as cream cheese. Hold on, it's going to be noisy for a minute. It's going to be worth it. You're going to see. Just going to scrape the sides a bit. You can see it's pureeing up nicely already. It's not as smooth as I'd like it to be, and I can also see that the garlic is not chopped up totally 100%. So we're going to let it go for another minute. So creamy now. Oh, it's fantastic. Okay, now we're talking. A good thing to do is to unplug it when you're finished. It's not a good idea to stick a fork or a knife in when it's still plugged in. Okay, now I know this is going to be amazing. So simply what we're going to do is we're going to take the pasta. I've already pre-cooked it. I just left it in the water. I'm going to drain the pasta. I used linguine noodles, or fettuccine. Works really well also. There we go. Then I'm going to put it back in the pot, which is probably still a bit warm, which is nice. Put it back on the element, which is also warm. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to scrape the sauce right on top of it. It's so creamy. Look at how creamy that is. Can you see that? It's wonderful. If you find it's a little thicker than you want and you want it thinner, what you could do is add a little bit of vegetable broth. But this is twice that I've made this now, and it's brilliant. I can cannot believe how creamy it is. Now you're going to see, if you put it back, put the noodles back in the pot, then the noodles are going to stay warm. And it's going to be great to mix it up. The other thing I also noticed is that with the sauce, you don't want to cook it per se, because then the tofu will get a little bit grainy. You want it to remain smooth. Now I'm also going to add the parmesan. I'm going to mix it up. Oh, this is so fantastic. Look at that. You can see how smooth it is. Smooth and creamy. Isn't that amazing? So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to show you. I'm going to just reach in my cupboard and get a bowl. And I'm going to put it in the bowl so you can see what it looks like. Oh, wonderful. It's the perfect amount. This is a big portion of pasta. But you can see how creamy the sauce is. It is so delicious. And I think that's all you need. See? Doesn't it look great? So that's all you need. 4 cloves of garlic. And you could use maybe 6 if you're going to use the whole block of tofu. It's such a wonderful surprise. I never in a million years would have guessed that you could use silken tofu to make this. This is fantastic. Unbelievable. I'm going to give it a try. This weekend, what I did was I tried it. You can have it with different types of pasta if you want. You don't have to have it with linguine or fettuccine noodles. Oh, this is going to be a big mouthful. The garlic makes it absolutely perfect. Love it, love it, love it. So I want to say thank you so much for following me. Please tell your friends about this cooking show. I would like as many people as possible to join us to learn the skills to cook fast and easy in the kitchen, and to start enjoying different recipes, especially fast and easy recipes. I have to show you something really special that I got this weekend on Amazon. I didn't realize that you could order even used cookbooks. They're just like new, some of them. Never been written in, hardly ever been used. I ordered 2 cookbooks. They were $15 each, and Amazon just delivered them. It's a brilliant surprise. I love this. I love Jamie Oliver. This is a brilliant, brilliant cookbook. If you haven't seen it, well, I'm in love with Italy. I think everybody knows that already. This recipe book is fantastic because he traveled all over Italy, number 1. Number 2, what he has done is he has created a write-up for all the different areas that he's gone to, and then he's created the menu for the area and gives you all the recipes for the area. But it's also like a photography book because he shows you as he goes along all the different cities that he's visited. It's so beautiful. I highly recommend this cookbook. I recommend any of Jamie Oliver's cookbooks, but I really love this one, especially for the photography. Jamie Oliver has another cookbook, and it's called 5 Ingredients. So you know that that's going to be relatively simple and easy for cooking. He has another one, and it's called Meals in Minutes. So this would be a really popular, fast and easy cookbook to use. I'm going to look through here and see if any of these would resonate with us. I think this would be really fun. Maybe we'll try a couple of these recipes also. It might be a great cookbook for any of you to pick up with some great fast and easy ideas. So I am not being paid to promote Jamie Oliver, but I love him. I love watching him on Instagram sometimes. He even has his children doing cooking shows. And this is one thing we should remember, is when we try these simple, fast and easy recipes like this pasta primavera today, what a great way to introduce our children into the kitchen, to encourage them to try something new, and if they cook it or help cook it, they're more apt to try it and think how fantastic it is and get everybody else in the family to enjoy their cooking. So they develop these life skills forever. I love that. This is one thing that Health Canada is trying to get us to promote, to teach our children how to cook, those life skills. It's really important. Okay, so that's it for today. I hope you can join me again next Monday at the Joy of Cooking with Michelle. Thank you for joining me. It's a pleasure having you in my kitchen. Bye.